Welcome back to In the Midst. So today we're going to talk about marriage. And we're going to talk about lying, okay? So today I want to challenge you to stop lying to your spouse. And maybe you thought, I don't lie to my husband. Or you thought, how does she know this? Either way, there's going to be something in here that's going to help us. And I want to share a little perspective. I want to bring some things to you that you might think, it's not that big of a deal, or that's not really a lie. Is it though? So I want you to remember a couple things that God is very clear about lying. Okay, it's either a lie or it's truth. God doesn't have a lot of gray. God doesn't have white lies and half-truths and small exaggerations, okay? And everything we do and say should be done to the honor and glory of the Lord, okay? Even if your spouse doesn't know you're lying, the Lord does. And that is our highest calling, is to be holy before the Lord. So, I want to ask you, why are you lying to your spouse? Like I said, it might be something small, but why? Normally there's a reason. It could be like, I don't want them to know. I don't know what their reaction's going to be. Maybe they won't approve. I don't want them to tell me no. It's not a big deal. Write the after numbers by one. So 20, 21, 22, okay, by ones. Sorry, we're multitasking today, of course. But so there's reasons. I want you to think about what these reasons are. Often, sadly, our mind makes these reasons worse than they really are. We feel like our spouse is going to be angry or upset, or maybe they're going to explode, or maybe they're going to disapprove, when in reality, if you just tell them, it's often not as bad as what we were worried about it being. I found this to be true in my own marriage. We've been married almost 14 years, and there are still times that I'm like, I messed up. Maybe I can fix it. What's he going to say? How's he going to react? My husband isn't an angry, upset, explosive person. I just don't want that disappointment. I just don't want to have to tell him that I did something wrong, right? But when I tell him, I'm like, okay, so I messed up. I did a thing, whatever. And he's like, okay, what? What is it? What's left? What's broken? Just tell me so we can move on. He doesn't really get angry. He's just, okay, like, we can't deal with it if you don't tell me. So often that's how our spouses, our husbands react. We just still have this, we try to fix it. We try to hide it. We don't want to tell them. So when you're tempted to lie, when you're tempted to hide something, to share a half-truth, I want you to think about why. Why am I doing this? Because that's the first thing that we need to recognize. So, little white lies. Okay, like I said, okay, just wait. Please sit down and just wait. Like I said, little white lies are in fact whole big lies, okay? They're not little. It's not just an inconvenience, whatever. The Bible does not differentiate between small and large lies, and also omission is lying. Withholding information is lying, okay? That's not being completely honest. So I fear that we often do this without realizing it, though. Sometimes it's just a normal part of how we are. Maybe you were raised this way. You had an angry parent. You didn't want to share everything. You hid things. You saw your parents, overreact and fuss and fight over things that really weren't a big deal because one person shared something with the other. Bad relationships in your past, things like that. And I understand that. But if you don't recognize that and make a conscious thought of like, okay, this is why I'm doing this. This is what I'm used to. This is not my husband. This is not my spouse. This is not my wife. We're not going to move past it. And it just becomes habit. And then you just, little white lie here and there. No big deal. So let's look at a couple examples. One spouse is in a bad mood. They're bothered by something. The other, this is normally the wife too, okay? I want you to realize this. The other spouse, normally our husband, says, honey, what's wrong? Is something bothering you? Classic female answer is, no, I'm fine. Liar. No, you're not. Okay? So we have to recognize these things as lies, okay? If we don't recognize them for what they are, maybe you think I'm overreacting. Just hang on, okay, and listen to me. It's easy to say, that's not a big deal. We'll talk about it later. I'm saying that because I don't want to talk about it. And I get that, okay? You are not fine. You said you were. That makes it a lie. So why are we doing this? Because it's easy, because it's just If I say I'm fine, then he'll believe me. No, he doesn't. He knows good and well something is wrong. That's why he asked you what was wrong, okay? Your husband doesn't start a conversation with saying, are you okay? It's not what they do. So you have to learn to stop. Okay, you have to learn to say, no, I'm not, but I don't want to talk about it. Okay, because saying I'm fine because you don't want to talk about it is lying. We have to stop lying to our husbands, because my husband, when I say I'm fine and I'm not, he keeps poking and prodding and getting on my nerves, because then he's like, what is it? I know something's wrong. Tell me what it is. And I don't want to talk about it, okay? But he's a fixer. And he doesn't like it when I'm hurt. He doesn't like it when I'm upset. He doesn't like it when I'm in physical pain. So he's trying to fix all the things. He is a mechanic HVAC guy. He is my Mr. Fix-It, and he wants to fix me. But sometimes I don't want to be fixed. I am upset, and I don't know. I'm trying to process, and I need to pray, and I just can't. So you have to learn to say, I don't want to talk about it right now. You will get a lot further that way, and your husband is going to realize that, okay, something is wrong. She's not blowing me off. She's just not ready to talk about it. Only say, I don't want to talk about it right now if you actually plan to discuss it later. Okay? If you say, I don't talk about it right now, your husband waits 4 hours after dinner, the kids are in bed, and he's like, hey, what's going on? You're like, I want to talk about it. Okay, do you ever want to talk about it? Because if you're not going to, then just say, I don't want to talk about it at all. Don't say later if you don't intend to follow through with that. If you are the one asking questions and your spouse is the one that is off and having a bad day or whatever, just please listen to them. Okay, don't badger them to get an answer. If your spouse says, I don't want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it right now, then you have to learn to let that go. It's hard. Okay, I think it's equally as hard for women and men. Women want to talk about it and talk things out, and husbands want to fix all the things. So it's a different challenge for us, but we both are like, tell me what's going on. Sometimes you just have to stop, okay? Because if you're pushing them and you're making them talk, you're forcing them, you're badgering them about this, they're not going to want to talk to you. And you might not get the truth. You might get, anything that's not helpful. You might even start arguing over something that's not even the issue, because you won't just leave them alone, okay? This is hard, but that's okay. Okay, you can do this. You can change this. This happened a couple months ago to us. My husband was just having a bad day. He was upset about something, and when he gets real upset or frustrated with something, he's normally pretty quiet, and I just didn't know what it was. And I asked him, I know something is wrong. What is going on? And he said, I don't want to talk about it right now, but I'm not mad at you. Okay. If you're not mad at me, then talk to me. As much as I want to keep digging into this, I can't. And it was really hard for me, but the Holy Spirit just said, go, leave it alone. And I did, and we did end up talking about it later, and it was fine. So you have to respect your spouse's words of, I don't want to talk about this right now. And just don't force it. Instead, take the time to pray for them and whatever it is that's bothering them. Ask the Lord to bring them peace, comfort. Go intercede for them. Maybe they are just burdened with something. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't know if they should talk about it. Maybe it's sin. Maybe it's a problem at work. Maybe it's news they received. You don't know. So give them the benefit of the doubt and go pray for them. When you're praying for someone, it's really hard to be upset at them. So don't be upset at your spouse for not talking to you right now. Okay, respect that. Second scenario, you bought something, you spent money without talking to your spouse. They notice it and say, where did that come from? How long have you had that? I didn't know we had money for that in the budget this week. And you say, oh, I've had this forever. 2 days ago is not forever. Okay. Your Amazon Prime delivery was not forever ago. If you say anything other than, I just bought it, you're lying. Okay. Don't tell him it was on sale if it wasn't. Doesn't make it better. Don't. Okay. It doesn't matter. So for us, my husband, his paycheck is direct deposited into the account. He doesn't check the account. I do the physical spending of the money, buying the groceries, paying the bills, all that stuff. And I'm the one constantly checking the mobile banking. And I'm like, okay, this is where we are. I tell him what is being spent, what it needs to be paid, how much it is, and he's like, yes, pay that. No, don't do this. I'm going to do this, whatever. So there's tons of communication. But he's at work and I'm at home. So I'm just the one that physically carries out the plan, right? So with that, sometimes he's like, how much money do we have? Or it's about here, right? And I could say, yeah, except for that $40 I spent that you don't know about. Whoops. Don't. Okay? Don't lie to him. Don't think that he's never going to find out. Don't think he doesn't notice. He is. Okay? It's not worth lying to your spouse. It takes time and years, months, years to spend or to grow that trust. Okay? Some areas of trust are growing a little faster than others, but it takes so much time. It literally takes a couple seconds to completely destroy that, and it's all gone. That's not where you want your marriage to be. Okay? Do not take steps to destroy the trust in your marriage. If you have children, I want to remind you that they are watching and listening. Okay? Are you really setting the right example? Are you setting a biblical example? Is the words that you're saying to your spouse truthful and honoring to the Lord? When you're lying to your spouse, you're not showing them love and respect. Is that really how you feel? You cannot say, I love you, but you don't know about this box of things that I'm omitting from you. Okay? You don't know that. You can't say that, rather. If you are hiding things and you are lying by omission.
Look at the seed.
If you say they didn't ask, so I don't tell, it's not a big deal, he spent money, whatever, then this is a very dangerous place to let your marriage be. It can be as simple as hiding those Starbucks and Target receipts, okay? Hiding text messages, calls, that you're not telling him about, being friends with people that he would rather you not be friends with, that, that he doesn't know about the relationship, the friendship there. This is not a place to be. The Lord knows, and God is not mocked. Whatever you sow, you will reap, okay? Don't think that you're going to get away with this. You're not. This is going to come out. Behold, your sin will find you out, okay? So just know that. If your spouse asks if you've been somewhere and you lie about it or you don't answer them, this is the same, okay? This is still lying. This is dishonesty. This is disrespect. If you cannot answer your spouse honestly, then you probably shouldn't be doing whatever it is that you're doing, okay? If you don't want them to know, then stop. You are married. You are not single. You are not supposed to be living for yourself. You are one flesh. This is a relationship, a partnership. You wouldn't want to be treated that way, okay? If you don't want your spouse lying to you, if you wouldn't be okay with it and you wouldn't be, then stop treating them that way, okay? This is not okay. Of course, we can go into more scenarios such as, what you're looking up on your phone, affairs, drugs, alcohol, gambling, all that stuff. But I feel like these are more common scenarios that we just don't think about. It's easy when you find out that your husband is texting the secretary. Then you're like, what is going on? You've been lying to me. Yeah, okay, you're drinking alcohol and you didn't tell me. We get it. But those little things of, I'm fine. It was on sale. Was it? You're not fine. It wasn't on sale. It wasn't money that was planned in the budget. You're lying, okay? So I want to urge you to be careful with your words. Think about why you're lying. Why are you hiding this from them? Speak truth to your spouse, even when it is not easy, it's not convenient. Your marriage will grow, and your spouse will trust you more as the days, months, and years go on, when you are not lying to them. If you want your marriage to be a godly marriage, a marriage that's blessed by God, you can't build a marriage on lies, okay, and secrecy. That's not how this works. So until next time, stay in the Word, stay close to the shepherd, and let him lead you in paths of righteousness.